So our monthly prayer vigils at Latrobe, at the Latrobe facility began several years before I joined the parish back in 2010. There was a small group of men from the parish men's group, Men of Veritas, who would meet one Saturday a month to pray the rosary in the Stations of the Cross at Latrobe. Sister Jessica, one of our Dominican sisters, she entered the picture in April of this year with a very simple request. She had been holding prayer vigils with her youth group at the Latrobe facility for a period of time and approached several of the men separately with the suggestion of making this prayer vigil available to the whole parish. One of our parish leaders, Ray Haywood, stepped forward at this time and suggested creating a resource guide for parishioners who were interested in being part of this pro-life ministry. He saw the potential dangers of public prayer in a hostile environment like an abortion facility, and envisioned having an online resource that would provide guidelines and printable materials for navigating these prayer vigils. The objective here was to ensure a safe and peaceful experience for adults and children. And the resource guide is what I'll be covering shortly.
First off, I just wanted to thank everyone for being here. Your presence here means that you care about this issue or you're curious. So thank you for showing up. It's a good crowd. And I want to thank especially the men that I see in these pictures for showing up, despite what the cultural narrative is that men don't have a say and they shouldn't be there, right? I'm sure you've heard that out there at Latrobe, that your opinion doesn't matter, and it does matter. Of course it matters. Of course we know through the awesome intercession of St. Joseph how important the role of fathers are and grandfathers and so on, right? So men are called to be protectors. So thank you to all the men that are showing up to pray and be humble like St. Joseph. What I love about what I call the ready-made toolkit that has been created here, so it includes the code of conduct, it includes a parental permission form, if minors are going out with someone other than their parents, which is brilliant. But what I love about it is it creates a standard and an expectation of what to expect, right? And also the code of conduct is really vital. It's so critical to, number one, know what to expect or have an idea of what to expect. Number two, have guidelines of like where to stand, what you should and shouldn't say or do, and to really feel informed about some of these basic concepts before going out. Now, I don't want to say that people shouldn't just go out and just show up, because I think that's great, but I think we need to be careful because we want to remain on the public right of way and not be on private property. There's some details involved that are really important details, especially today with what's going on. I admire the hard work, and I really believe that this is a beautiful tool that hopefully will be used by other Catholic parishes in our diocese and maybe beyond, who knows. There is no place, in my opinion, in the world that is darker and that you confront good and evil that is so intense, the contrast, than in front of an abortion facility, okay? In my opinion, I just can't, maybe at a satanic temple or something, but this is serious business. You are confronting evil by physically being present in front of these facilities where little babies are being their lives are being taken within the safest place, what should be the safest place, which is within their mother's wombs. But it is critical that we not only pray, but we need to show up and we need to do something. We need to be called to action. This is that important. And there's so many ways to get involved. But if you have not been to pray in front of an abortion facility, I really encourage you to get out there and just show up with a friend, go out with someone that has done it before, and just see it with your own eyes. I challenge you as your Christian Catholic sister to do this. Don't postpone it. This is really important to God. I do this work full time. I know it can be discouraging. It can be scary. people get down, like they're not doing enough, they're not seeing the fruit of their labor. It doesn't matter. When we get to heaven, I believe all those babies who we gave a voice to are going to be meeting us, God willing, at the gates of heaven. So please remember that and pray about that beautiful meditation of seeing each and every soul that you try to defend and stand for in heaven one day. Okay? God's in charge of the outcome.
And we have to keep that moral clarity because we want to understand what's going on or why everyone's reacting the way they are, or what we're called to do. If we don't understand what abortion means at the root, which is one dead and one wounded. That's why this is important, and that's why we can't just go through our lives without responding to it. Now, how do you respond? I'm grateful for this great program, this group who has developed something. In these guidelines and what's been shared tonight, there's experience. There's experience of these men who have gone out there, who took the risk to go out there, and who learned, and who are willing to adapt what they do as they learned to make it more effective. It's important to have moral clarity, and it's also important to be effective. Because if you just show up and you just do whatever, you can do a lot of harm. Even if you're 100% right on this issue, you can do a lot of harm if you don't know the right way to respond. And so the guidelines that have been shared tonight and the experience that's being shared tonight is very valuable, and I really urge you to take it seriously because it is a blueprint for how to be effective in this outreach. So you go to Latrobe or you go to another abortion clinic, and there's a whole crowd of escorts. There's a whole battalion of police officers. There's walls and there's practically barbed wire everywhere. What do you do? What do you do? Well, I'll tell you this. They're prepared for everything you can do and everything you can say. They're prepared, except for love. The one thing they are not expecting and they are not prepared to deal with is love for everyone there, not just for the good guys, but also for the bad guys. Also for the ones who are most in your face and who are most angry and who are most dedicated to supporting abortion, who are saying things that are just outrageously horrible to you. They're not prepared for love. And love is what will wear them down. Because the human heart is made for love, and they can't escape that. They can't escape that. Much as they try to deny that, protect themselves against that, and you see that even on their bodies, sometimes the way they present themselves. They're not prepared for love, and that's what we're here to do, to love everyone who is there. From the abortionist to the loudest, meanest escort to the vulnerable mom who's coming into this war zone and doesn't know what to do. So we are here to love. And so the parts that are about being being respectful and kind, even to the escorts, even to the people who work for the abortion clinic, that's not just a tactic. That's the essence of what we're doing there. A few years ago, I was praying in an abortion clinic in Asheville, and I was just there praying. There were sidewalk counselors working, the people who try to talk to the moms, and a truck stopped that had a man and a woman in it. They talked to them for a while, and the truck didn't go into the abortion clinic parking lot. It pulled off to the side. They were talking to them more, and finally they went off to an appointment with a pro-life OBGYN, whom the sidewalk counselors had called and who was willing to see the woman right away. And two things from that turn away, that save, that stuck with me, I was told later by those counselors, was that when the mom, who had been going for an abortion, when she came out of the visit with this OB and had seen the ultrasound of her child, they said her face, which had been very closed off during the whole conversation, just changed. There was this opening. this opening to her child. And they said that her husband, who had been with her, who didn't really want to go with along with the abortion, but was trying to support his wife in the way, he thought was right, or the only way he could maybe. He said after that he said, I knew she wouldn't go through with it because I knew when we got there would be someone there to help. There would be someone there to help. And what a beautiful testimony. This guy was not a pro-lifer, but he saw and understood what we were there for. Despite all the propaganda, despite all the accusations of being whatever, with whatever motives, he saw and understood that we were there to help. And being there to help made a difference. And what if there's no one there to help? Like Elizabeth was talking about at all those clinics where there's no one there to help. What will happen then? We're called to be someone there to help. And so please go out there and trust God and follow these guidelines. And I believe you'll see beautiful fruits from that. Thank you.